Everyone says the spider plant is impossible to kill. They call it the perfect beginner plant. They put it on lists. They sell it at every grocery store checkout. They tell you it basically takes care of itself. So why are your leaf tips turning brown and crispy no matter what you do? Here is the truth nobody in the plant industry wants you to hear. The spider plant is not dying because you are bad at gardening. It is dying because the soil corporations sold you a product that is slowly suffocating your plant underground, one watering session at a time. Today, we are not talking about watering schedules or light placement. Today, we are going underground. We are going to look at the actual biology happening inside your soil, inside your roots, and inside each leaf cell. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why those brown tips keep coming back, and you will have a clear, science-backed plan to fix it permanently. Stay with me, because the first secret is one most plant channels will never show you. Let us start underground, because that is where everything goes wrong first. Most people think roots only absorb water. But here is what the bag of potting soil never tells you. Your roots need to breathe oxygen just as much as they need water. When you use standard dense potting soil, that peat moss packs down over time. Every time you water, you crush the tiny air pockets inside the soil. No air pockets means no oxygen reaching the roots. Scientists call this an anaerobic environment. Your plant calls it slow suffocation. Here is the fix, and it is simpler than you think. You need to build a soil that holds moisture and air at the same time. The formula is 60% quality potting soil and 40% chunky aeration material. That means coarse perlite, raw pumice, or biochar mixed in together. Biochar is the hidden weapon here. It has a microscopic porous structure that permanently holds tiny air pockets inside the soil no matter how much you water. Watch what happens when you water a soil mix like this. The water moves straight through. The roots get moisture. The air pockets stay open. Your plant breathes and drinks at the same time. That one change alone will stop root rot before it ever starts. But here is the part most people miss entirely. Fixing the soil is only half the battle. What lives inside that soil matters just as much. And that is what we are looking at next. Now that your soil has oxygen, let us talk about something that happens in the zone directly around your plant roots. Scientists call this zone the rhizosphere. In a healthy outdoor garden, the rhizosphere is packed with billions of living microorganisms. They work around the clock to break down nutrients and deliver them directly to your roots. But inside a plastic pot in your living room, that zone is completely sterile, empty, dead, and a sterile rhizosphere means your plant is trying to feed itself from soil with nothing alive in it. Here is how you fix that. Every single time you repot a spider plant, dust the root system with raw mycorrhizal fungi before placing it in new soil. This is not a chemical fertilizer. This is a living beneficial fungus. Once it attaches to your roots, it builds an underground network that acts as a secondary root system. It can increase the surface area of your roots by up to 10 times. 10 times more surface area means 10 times more access to water and minerals. It also creates a natural shield around the roots that blocks harmful pathogens from ever gaining a foothold. Think of it this way. Mycorrhizal fungi turns your plant's root system from a single straw into a massive underground web. But here is what will shock you. Even with perfect soil and a thriving rhizosphere, most spider plants are still being slowly poisoned every single week. And the weapon doing the damage is sitting right under your kitchen sink. Look at that white chalky crust around the edge of the pot. That is not harmless mineral residue. That is the physical evidence of chemical salt buildup from synthetic fertilizers, and it is burning your plant roots at the cellular level. Here is what is actually happening. Synthetic liquid fertilizers deliver a massive concentrated shock of nitrogen and mineral salts directly into the soil. That sudden spike throws off the soil chemistry. It raises the salt concentration around the roots higher than the salt concentration inside the root cells. When that happens, water actually flows out of the root cells instead of into them. Your plant is being dehydrated by the very fertilizer you bought to help it grow. The solution is to stop feeding the plant directly and start feeding the biology in the soil instead. Organic worm castings and liquid humic acid feed the microbes in the rhizosphere we talked about earlier. Those microbes then break down nutrients slowly and release them at a pace the plant can actually use. No salt spikes. No chemical burns. No dehydrated root tips. The result is deep, vibrant forest, green leaves with clean, bright white variegation. And here is something important. Once you make this switch, you will also start solving the biggest mystery of the spider plant at the same time. Those crispy brown tips have a real scientific name. It is called leaf tip necrosis. And it is not caused by overwatering or underwatering. It is caused by what is inside your water. Spider plants have a unique and highly sensitive physiology. They react strongly to fluoride, chlorine, and heavy minerals that are found in standard municipal tap water across most of the United States. Because your plant cannot flush these toxins out through drainage, it does something very specific. It moves those toxic minerals to the furthest point of its anatomy, the very tips of the leaves. As fluoride accumulates at the tip, it disrupts the osmotic pressure inside the leaf cells. Think of osmotic pressure as the plant's internal water tension system. When fluoride breaks that tension, the cells at the tip can no longer hold water. They rupture. They dry out, they turn brown. Trimming the brown tip gives you a clean-looking plant for about 2 weeks. But it does not remove the fluoride still moving through the plant's vascular system. Here is the permanent fix. Switch to distilled water, reverse osmosis water, or collected rainwater entirely. And once a month, perform a soil flush. Take your plant to the sink, pour a generous amount of pure water slowly through the entire pot, and let it drain completely out of the bottom for a full minute. This actively washes the accumulated mineral salts out of the soil and resets the chemical balance your root cells need to hold water properly again. Do this consistently for 6 weeks and the new leaf growth will come in clean, bright, and tip-free. Now let us talk about the part of this video everyone has been waiting for. Those long, beautiful cascading runners covered in tiny baby plants are botanically called stolons. And getting your spider plant to produce them in abundance is not a matter of luck or patience. It is a matter of triggering a very specific hormonal response inside the plant. Here is the biology behind it. In nature, a spider plant sends out runners when it detects that its root system is stable, established, and slightly compressed. It is a survival signal. The plant is essentially saying, "My roots are secure, now it is time to reproduce and spread." If you put a small spider plant into a massive pot, it will spend every unit of its hormonal energy trying to fill that empty space with roots. It will never shift into reproduction mode. Keep your spider plant slightly pot, bound in a container that fits it snugly. Combined with the high oxygen soil mix, the active rhizosphere biology, and the clean water chemistry we set up in the earlier sections, that root pressure tells the plant the conditions are perfect. Give it bright, indirect light to maximize its metabolic energy. Within a few weeks, you will see those long pale green stolons begin to emerge and cascade downward, each one loaded with perfectly formed baby spiderets ready to root. Clip them. Place them in clean water. Watch them root in 7 to 10 days. One healthy spider plant becomes 5. 5 become 20. That is not just a plant, that is a living, self-replicating design piece for your home. Here is everything you need to do starting tomorrow. Step 1. Rebuild your soil. Mix 60% quality potting soil with 40% aeration material like Coarse, perlite, and Biochar. Repot your plant and dust the roots with mycorrhizal fungi before you place it in the new mix. Step 2. Fix your water and your fertilizer. Switch to distilled or rainwater immediately. Replace your synthetic fertilizer with organic worm castings. Do a full soil flush once a month. Step 3. Right-size your pot. Move your plant to a snug container. Give it bright indirect light, and let the biology we built in steps 1 and 2 do the rest. When you understand the actual science behind your plants, indoor gardening stops being a guessing game. It becomes something you are truly good at. If this video gave you something new, drop a comment below and tell me, are you dealing with brown tips right now, or are you chasing those baby runners? Subscribe for more science-backed plant guides, and I will see you in the next one.